Well, good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office. This is the morning briefing on the day of March the 28th, 2023. As I look out the window of the home office, cloudy here. Really hasn't rained much yet other than a few sprinkles, but it will. Everybody is going to get some rain today. So we'll talk about rain. We'll talk about snow. We'll talk about wind, although I don't think wind is going to be much of an issue, but we'll talk about that. So a lot going on today. Also, what that snow level is going to do and how much we're going to see in some of those elevations below 4,000 feet. So without any further discussion, let's get right to what's happening first thing this morning. So as I'm recording this around 8:30 in the morning, what you see here on Doppler Radar is, well, what's happening? You see this area of rain moving in, a couple of bands of rain, if you will, but as you can see, areas like, Sonora and in Calaveras County and Amador County, we really haven't had any rain just yet. And even the rain that we've had so far around Sacramento and to the west really hasn't been all that heavy, but we will see this fill in as we go through the day, and we will see a good steady rain. But notice the motion here from the southwest to the northeast. So with that in mind, I want to show you this cool shot. So this is water vapor. And so it's a different channel on the satellite as opposed to the visible that we'd like to use, or the infrared. But the thing that really stands out is the low out here, and we've been talking about this low for the last couple of days, and how deep it is, how powerful it is, if you will. But also notice the placement is here off the coast, and as it stays off the coast, that's where your strongest winds are. Although it is going to be somewhat windy on the north coast during the day today, it already is in some spots. This will reduce the amount of wind that we'll see up and down the Central Valley, the foothills, and the Sierra. So you see these areas orange in here. These are areas of dry air that get entrained in here. And then this is the best moisture that is now streaming into central and northern California, and not much into Southern California just yet. But it's as this band pushes through that we will see the best rain and snow that we're going to see. We'll also have very good what we call orographics today as well, and that means we'll have good lift into the Sierra. So let me get to the HRRR model, and I'll tell you the thing about the change that we have seen, and I should point this out, the change that we have seen from what I was talking about, what we were talking about yesterday, and even what we were talking about last night, is that the trend of the models is slower by a couple of hours. And many of you may have already noticed that this morning, that maybe you woke up and it wasn't raining, and you said, hey, well, you guys said it was going to be raining first thing this morning. Well, everything is slowed down by a few hours, meaning that the window of steadiest rain is likely going to be more the afternoon as opposed to late morning and into early afternoon. It's going to be more like late morning and through the middle of the afternoon or so, a couple of hours later. So this is the way the HRRR initializes it around 8 o'clock in the morning. And then here is the best in the way of rain. This is 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Widespread rain from Chico through Modesto. Then it is raining in Sonora with a snow level in the neighborhood of 5,000 feet. So again, this is around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's go to 5 o'clock this afternoon. Same thing, widespread rain from Chico all the way past Turlock and down, almost down to the Fresno area. The snow level by then in places like Nevada County is beginning to lower somewhat, probably down to about 4,000 feet, still up around 5,000 feet in Tuolumne County. The snow level is far from uniform. It is lower the farther north you go, higher the farther south you go, as this is where the coldest air is, and so we can't just give one number at any one time for the Sierra. And we can't just say the snow is at 5,000 feet because, again, there's going to be a big difference between what you see in Butte County and what you see in Tuolumne County. So this is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Wet for the evening commute. A couple of hours later at, let's see, this is 9 o'clock in the evening. By then, this is Sacramento County. The rain has ended. Just hit and miss showers and Stockton. The back edge of the rain is almost into Tuolumne County. But the back edge of this is where the coldest air is as well. So by then, we are likely seeing some light snow. Let me back that up just a little bit. So let's say right here, this is 7 o'clock in the evening. Let's say 7 and 8 o'clock in the evening. So Nevada City, here's where we have the best chance of getting some snow, but it's not going to snow very long. And so even if it does snow, we may only get a couple of inches because of the duration of it. And I'm talking about, the lower elevations, not talking about the Sierra where it'll snow all day. I'm not talking about the elevations above 6,000 feet where it'll snow all day. So it's the tail edge of this that has the chance of bringing us that bit of snow down to, let's say, 3,200 feet. in the hours of 7, 8, 9 o'clock tonight. And then this is at 11 o'clock tonight, and we have that better chance of snow down toward Twain Harte in Tuolumne County. Getting into the day on Wednesday, this is Wednesday morning. Hit and miss rain, and that's the way Wednesday is going to go. And here's where we lose the good orographic. So in other words, the good lift in the Sierra. So while during the day today, let me back up. So at this point, when we have the really good lift going on tonight, we may be getting snow at 2 inches an hour in the Sierra. And then we get into the day Wednesday and we lose the really good lift, and the snow is more down to 1 inch or less per hour. So the snow rate goes down, and the snow level will still be around 4,000 feet. During the day Wednesday, there's a chance of thunderstorms, but it really depends on how much sunshine we see. And as you can see in this model, you really don't see many breaks in here. This is 2 o'clock in the afternoon Wednesday. But I still think we are going to see some thunderstorms on Wednesday, with a chance of some small hail, and then everything clears out as we get into the day on Thursday. In terms of how much rain we can expect, I'll show you the running totals. So by the time we get to this evening, the west side of the valley, not too great. So Colusa County, about 1/3 of an inch of rain. Sacramento, probably around 3/4, but then we get into the foothills, and we're talking about 1.5 inches of rain. For those of you, let's say in Placerville, Valley Springs may see 1 inch of rain. Sonora, probably about 3/4 of an inch of rain. That's as of this evening. And then during the day on Wednesday, we add maybe another 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch, depending on where some of those convective bands may pop up. And you can see into Butte County and into parts of Plumas County, into the Feather River Basin. Here we're talking about 3-4 inches of rain total. That may be a little bit on the high side, but you get the idea. Let's talk about some wind, because like I said, I just don't think we're going to see much in the way of wind. This is the strongest wind we are likely to see. This is off the Nam Nest. This is at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and here we may be seeing some gusts of 40. So there's a relatively short window when we could see some winds, maybe gusts 35 to 40, but I don't think we'll see any significant issues from the wind here as that little line of rain goes through. And then once that goes through, it'll just be breezy as we head into Tuesday night and into Wednesday. Let me talk about the big picture a little bit. And with this, I just want to talk about the colder weather that we have seen and will continue to see. So what I'm showing you here is the 500 millibar chart. I'm just going to move this a little bit so that I can manipulate this as well as show you California. So here's California right here, and here's the low that we're looking at this morning. And as you can see, it pivots down the coast, and then we clear out on Thursday. And then this is Thursday, Friday. This is Friday morning. And the Friday's going to be a nice day, but if you look at this flow, the flow, here's the Aleutians right in here. And look at that flow. It just drops down from the north, from the Aleutians, and comes straight into Northern California. And while it'll be dry, we'll continue to see temperatures below average. And this is the last day of March, and we will not hit 70 degrees, which is average. On the weekend, there's still a slight chance of a shower on Saturday afternoon from this weak system to the north. But I think the overall trend, the models that we're looking at here, while this flow continues to be cold, it doesn't look very wet. I think there will be some chances of rain next week, but nothing that will be as significant as what we're seeing today, and even today is quite manageable. This is getting into, this is the 4th, this is the 5th. This is still a cold flow, but things look as though maybe beyond that, things will shift a little bit, and this would be some warmer weather as we get into, this is all the way to Saturday, the 9th. So there is hope that maybe things will be changing sometime down the road for some slightly warmer weather, but at a time of year when daytime highs of 75 or 80 degrees are quite common and quite easy, and as we get into the month of April, record highs are all, other than a couple of days in the beginning of the month, all the record highs are into the 90s. And daytime highs in the 80s are quite common in the month of April. Right now, at least in the next 7 to 10 days, I don't see much of the valley getting even into even up to 70 degrees. So the cooler weather will last at least another 7, maybe as much as 10 days, and beyond that, maybe this pattern will change. So rainy today, Snow in the Sierra, our thoughts really haven't changed that much in terms of how much snow we're going to see. The higher elevations, the summits, will see 2 feet of snow, most of that falling this afternoon and early this evening, but we'll have chain controls lasting into tomorrow. And then for the lower elevations below 4,000 feet, while I do think we'll see some snow as the back edge of this thing rolls through, I don't think we're going to see very much. And while you might have to shovel it, I don't think it's going to be as arduous as the shoveling that you've had to do so many times so far this year. So that's everything I've got for you this morning. Of course, I will be on KCRA tonight at 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 11. There'll be a Facebook live chat tonight at 8 o'clock. And of course, if you enjoy these updates, feel free to subscribe, and I'll have another update for you right here tomorrow morning. Make it a great day.